Look, with all the hype of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, many hedge funds opened with the promise to make their investors large returns. When Bitcoin hit the 60,000-ish numbers, everyone thought the momentum would continue, and as we know, it fell like a lead balloon. A large hedge fund named Three Arrows Capital managed about $10 billion in assets, making it one of the most prominent crypto hedge funds in the world. Now the firm, which is also known as 3AC, is headed to bankruptcy court after the plunge in cryptocurrency prices. And basically, it was a particularly risky trading strategy, and it caused a wipeout of all the assets and leaving it unable to repay lenders. Three Arrows' strategy involved borrowing money from across the industry and then turning around and investing that capital in other, often newer crypto projects. So they were basically investing in all these newer crypto projects. The firm had been around for a decade, which helped give the founders Zhu Su and Kyle Davies a measure of credibility in an industry populated by newbies. Zhu also co-hosted a popular podcast on crypto. I'm actually wondering if that podcast is still on. All this credibility made it easy for them to lure in investors. By the way, I don't think it was nefarious. However, I just think it turned really, really bad for these guys, and that's basically what happened. However, the founders have been very quiet. Court documents show that the lawyers representing 3AC's creditors claim that Zhu and Davies have not yet begun to cooperate with them in any meaningful manner. The filing also alleges that the liquidation process hasn't even started, meaning there's no cash to pay back the company's lenders. The fall of Three Arrows can be traced to the collapse of May's Terra USD. I don't know if you guys remember this, but basically what happened, it was a US dollar pegged stablecoin and it crashed. And basically it was called a stablecoin because it was supposed to trade 1-for-1 for the US dollar. Technological mechanisms were supposed to be put in place that made this stablecoin mimic the price of the dollar. Look, I'm no crypto expert, but I really can't explain how it worked. But the reality was it definitely failed to maintain the 1-to-1 ratio. In fact, the Terra USD went down to about 0. This was the beginning of the end for many funds, including the Three Arrow Fund. The problem is that the Three Arrow Fund was also tied to several other crypto funds as well, and they collapsed. I remember in November and December reading about companies, some major companies who were cash heavy, moving that cash into funds like this one for what they considered a safe place for money that promised big returns. The bankruptcy of the hedge funds looked like Three Arrow is causing a ripple effect in the crypto hedge fund market. It was like a bank run. When investors had their money in their funds and they just wanted to basically get out whatever money they could before the funds went to 0. And this was causing other funds to crash as well. It's a small list of some of the funds affected by the nightmare, including Voyager, BlockFi, BitMEX, FTX, and there are many other funds that either closed or collapsed, and some of them aren't going to be launched because some was going to be launched. I'm still convinced that the reason the idea of Bitcoin is failing is because too many programmers and too many crypto companies wannabes destroyed the concept. Bitcoin was supposed to replace the fiat currency and make a simple monetary world. I don't know if you know, but the last count, there was over 19,000 cryptocurrencies and only 180 fiat currencies. You're just making the problem worse, but not better. Now, listen up, guys, because here's something to ponder. Did you know that the average fiat currency lasts about 35 years? Do you know why fiat currencies fail? They fail because of hyperinflation. Maybe Powell and the Fed are smarter than we give them credit for by doing all they can to stop inflation. Could the US dollar be on the brink of collapse? Well, the US officially went to a fiat currency in 1971. So the math says we are 15 years past the average collapse point. In fact, we are 5 years to the average point of a standard nation collapsing. So we got fiat currency collapsing and the nation collapsing all together. Hey, have a great day, right? All right.